Hi and good morning. This now is the Pinbreaker trap in the Sicilian Dragon. E4, C5, Knight F3, D6, D4, C takes, Knight takes on D4, Knight F6, hitting E4, Knight C3 defending, and G6. We enter the Dragon variation. White continues logically Bishop E3, Bishop G7, that's the Dragon bishop, commanding its wrath along that very dangerous diagonal. And F3, White is intending the Yugoslavian attack. After castles, Queen D2, White will be castling long and then launching a kingside offensive. Black responds Knight C6, putting pressure there between the two minor pieces in the center, the knight on C6 and White's knight on D4. And White continues according to plan with long castling. So White's plan here in the Yugoslavian attack is to start hurling the pawns forward, G4, H4, H5. The bishop will slip into H6. And although it's a long drawn out plan, it so often works, and Black gets devastated, as Bobby Fischer used to regularly slay the dragon. So Black here can try the move D5, and this is a very decent response. In fact, it's been tried by Carlsen, Morozevich, Nakamura, the world's best. Well, White here can go into exchanges on trading pawns on D5 or first trading knights on C6. But White has another very decent try, and that's dropping the queen back to E1. And that rook now on D1 is almost eyeballing the black queen and squaring off. This has been played by Caruana, Lecco, Svidler and Navarra, so it's also a very strong idea. So Black responds aggressively and naturally with E5, gaining time in the center, hitting the knight. And after White trades, Knight takes C6, B takes C6, swapping in the center, E takes D5, and C takes D5. And White really wants to start targeting some of these very strong pawns in the center. And the move he chooses is the natural Bishop G5. And we see that Knight now on F6 is pinned. So the pawn on D5 is loose. Bishop E6 defends that D5 pawn. And this is where White can really go astray. And this is really the trappy idea. Perhaps the best move for White would be Bishop C4. Putting pressure again on that loose pawn, which is pinned. However, the natural and almost intuitive Queen H4 is almost losing for White. Black can continue in a number of ways, but the most direct now is H6, hitting that bishop. See, White was planning perhaps playing the knight to E4, and this black knight on F6 really looks desperate. So the move H6 answers all of Black's worries. It's hitting the bishop, and if now the bishop captures on H6, then we're going to have a win for Black with Knight H7 or even Knight to E4. After Knight H7, offering the swap of queens, if White were to trade queens, then Black's taking the bishop on H6 with check before recapturing the queen on D8. And Black here is winning. After H6 again, if bishop takes H6, even better for Black is the move Knight E4. Because after taking on D8, Black captures on H6 check. And if King B1, the knight can take on C3 first, B takes C3, and then recapturing the queen. Black is doing really well here. Also, after H6, if White drops the bishop back to D2, then black will have the better position after queen b6, and the b file and the c file become extremely active for black's offensive. So this has been the Pinbreaker trap in the Sicilian Dragon. Hope it gave you some good ideas, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.